Hello, Super Robot fans. My name is Austin, and welcome back to the archive. We're going to be playing some more Alpha today. This is going to be happening when we're having this weird sort of lull going on. So hopefully this finds you well. I've not gotten to meet you all live in a minute. Let's see, what were we jumping back into? Yes, the Red Evangelion. Come on. Those were before preps, these were with preps. I will talk about this more when we get into the mission in like more specifics, but I have been trying to run some numbers on how the accuracy equation works. I did not get that far. I spent a lot of time on it, but I did not get that far because I just did not have all the components to test things with really easily. So I figure I'd probably make these recordings, get the whole team back together, and then we have like all of the tools at our disposal. I have like some rough estimates about what all of our stats are going to do, but not exactly all how they come together, but we'll talk about that more in a bit. The Argama is now missing its HP part because the defensive parts could go better on other units. The Giant Robo is back where it's supposed to be with its like super tankiness. We left the Z armor though for the Grungust. The Combattler the Voltace has 2 Chop Am armors. The Combattler only has 1 with a beam coat. I need to deliberately use the beam coats a little bit more, and I figure seeing as the Combattler and the Voltace, it was going to go on one of these two, and the beam coat reduces damage, so we want it to, or no, actually I don't know if it reduces damage in this game, but like the coatings work better when you have higher morale to like increase your defenses, so that's where that's going. Who else? I like the F to show you who's full on parts, but I wish there was like a couple of marks to show you like someone who had some parts, right? The Gundam Mark II and the G Defensor have a suite of parts now because when together they got all 4 of them. I think we're going to probably use this long term. So I've given them 2 of the range increasing parts, 1 on each of them, so when they're apart they can also like land kills. I don't want to just be focused on one to like give them the flexibility of being able to still kill something. If we were, we might move the both radars onto the G Defensor. But I think together they're fine. Apart they're fine, not together. That's exactly the opposite. And I've given the G Defensor a magnetic coating because odds are if we have it apart, when we have it apart, this is going to be the unit we're going to be using to attack, and I want it to have the mobility to like dodge the incoming attack more so than I want it to have the movement. I want the movement on the like full body one because I want the movement somewhere on it, so it's going to go to the full body one because we lack other part slots. Because I still want them to have movement somewhere. Actually, as I'm sitting here, I think we're going to switch this to just a booster. I think this is a little bit overkill. We're going to trade this out with the Ginrei Robo and give her the 2 movement. Okay, yeah, Ginrei has now 2 extra movement. That just feels the most relevant. Being a healer. The R-Gun has both the increase range and increase hit for the obvious reasons of it being a long-range unit. The R1, Ryusei, still has a lot of the dodging parts. We didn't change either of these 2. We did that already. Is there anybody else in here? Okay, so the Bilbine and the Dunbine have been given a smattering of mobility changing upgrades. They've both gotten parts, and I've spent some funds to pump those stats up some too. So this is like rough. This is why I was trying to figure this out. Like, how much do they actually need? Because I don't want to be wasting something like both the Psycho Frame and the Bio Armor on the Bilbine if one of those plus like a magnetic coating would be enough, and then one of those could go on something like the Dunbine to keep it 100% safe also. And I believe everything else down here, yeah, is partless. I don't think I like quite clocked that. At the very least, we haven't gotten any yet, but there just aren't any energy increasing parts in this game. So I was going to put this on the Don Cougar, but we don't have them, so I did not. The Don Cougar also got some energy upgrades. I wanted to give it at least 160 so that it had 2 instances of its best attack, which costs 80. I know it doesn't work out exactly like that, but this was like the closest I could figure. Right, because if it flies and it has 5 move. It's going to heal. It's going to restore 5 energy every turn. So if it's like flying and moving 5, and then it restores 5, it like cancels each other out, right? So like you can see how it's like really, really close to adding to 80. And then I also put some defensive parts onto the giant robo. As far as my math is concerned, 2,666 points of armor with max morale protects him from, like, fully protects him from damage of end result damage of total 4,000 power or less. And that's like factoring, that's once we factored in all of the buffs from stats, not just like printed power at 4,000. Which feels pretty good. I feel like we don't need to change his defensive properties much more. The reason I was using that as a benchmark was because who was it? Musei-Po. Musei-Po was achieving those numbers during the stage that she was in. So I'm like, we clocked her as a boss that had really, really powerful attacks. That's why I was like, if we can tank that, we can probably tank most anything. Okay, so Gendo is I like don't quite follow exactly how we're relating to the Eva plots. This feels like really weird. So Gendo is talking to us again. I'm pretty sure we left there to like go pick up Ava Unit 2. Like, I know we went to another world and all, but like we were en route to go pick up Ava Unit 2. Like, why don't we just keep going there? Like, this feels really weird. But we're also getting introductions, even though I'm pretty sure we met these characters like before. I wish I had a firmer grasp onto this story, but I feel like some of the threads are starting to fall a little bit loose. So here's the whole team introducing themselves, and one of the major sticking points right here is for everybody else that there are some teenagers involved, like Shinji. And Bright and Amuro are like, yeah, no, we're used to that because like Amuro was a child soldier, and that's just like how a lot of the Gundam world operates. So for all of the non-Gundam pilots, there's a great deal of surprise. Either like, why would you hire someone so young? I know we have people that are young on the team, but like they were like weird circumstances. Or all people who are kids on the team are more like, oh, I guess it's not just me. That's interesting. Misato gets like kinda tinky around us too. She was expecting a group that seemed a little bit more professional, I guess. But we kind of come off as pretty weird because we have like children and fairies flying about. I'm sure it's only going to get weirder as time goes on. Then we get some talk about how Shinji's robot works. So the team is interested in something that they had heard, that it's maybe like an organic human, a biotic human, a like genetically created human, which feels like it feels like we're jumping the gun a little bit on the convo about how Ava's work. I don't remember when that part's like when we start talking about like the nature of their existence in the like show proper, but feels a little bit early, but that's fine. But we need to like have these characters run through their personality traits. So like Rei is really shy and everyone notices she doesn't talk very much, but she does talk to Shinji. And Shinji like super hardcore doubts himself and like does not think that he's going to be able to function with this team because like they're asking him questions and he does not know how to answer them. So like he feels really guilty about that. But our like brave main character hero protagonists, but Ryoma especially tries to encourage Shinji and be like, no, like it's okay. Like some of us are still figuring out stuff about our robots. What counts is that like you're onto the team and you demonstrated a great deal of bravery when you encountered that other angel in the past. So that you are credit to us. You're credit to being here, and we appreciate that kind of bravery. And Shinji, in his little like childish, not a bad thing, but you know, it's very like young kid behavior to sort of like stiffen up at that. And you know, he can count on one finger the number of times he's been complimented recently. I say childish as if I didn't like just do that 5 minutes ago coming up right before I got on this video with one of my friends. Anyway, Burning then fills Bright in. So, oh yeah, right. So Burning was the one who was sort of like leading the charge for the other route split. And Burning fills the group in then on what all they have collected in the meantime, which is the Double Zeta, the V2, and the F91. And we're going to meet up with them when we like complete once we actually get into this mission. I'm trying to go really slow because we have to make a choice about whether to meet up with the Ava units first or them first. And we need to meet up with the Ava unit first because that's going to be one of our expert points. There we go. So yeah, we can meet up with a Reinforcement Junior, or we can meet up with Ava first. And we need to meet up with the Ava units first. There's another, actually, I think there's two. There's two more expert points. We'll get to those when we actually get into the mission. Then what else here? Oh, we, in that conversation too, their primary portion of the map or route split was dealing with Zeon. And Chris, who's with us, is from Side 6, which is a Gundam place. And she was curious whether the Zeons had started, interacting with Side 6 and whether her family was safe. Everyone's now going to go through all of the, ways we can couch Ava Unit 2 in terms of the rest of the series. They're all surprised about it being, the red unit. And, I don't think we've done it yet, but our main character says something to the effect of, if we gave it a horn, it would really look like Char's Zaku. Because that's, the part he's with. I guess the Gelgoog also has one, but they say Zaku. But, and then we say, if Quattro gets in it, he would really look like the Red Comet. And everyone's like, why would you say that? What do you mean Quattro is like Char? So I guess we just, don't know that yet. But we psychically have... We don't know why we said so, but... I would assume it's chalked up to our psychic power. In the meanwhile, Asuka also snaps at everyone about her position and role. She's definitely very prideful. If you aren't familiar with the character. But well, hold on. We'll pause that for a second. Everyone's staring at the water because there is an unidentified enemy coming from the water at them, and she figures that this will be a great time to show her chops and prove the point that I'm about to explain. So Shinji is the third child. The title of all of the pilots of the Ava units are the blank child, and he's the third child. But he is in Ava Unit 1, and the units are numbered in order of their production. So Asuka's Ava Unit 2 is actually the first real one. Ava Unit 1 is still sort of working out all the bugs, and then Ava Unit 0 is the prototype version. So, there's a sense of superiority coming from the position of her equipment too. Not just necessarily because of her skills, but she wants to prove her skills then to lock in that point. There is our angel. Somewhere in here also Sho and Chum are going to give it the once over and see that it in fact is not also it's neither Feisted Wells or of the surface. Oh, I haven't heard it. Okay, no more voice acting. I forgot how annoying her Japanese voice is. The game does it well, I think, from what I remember, but I find her voice very grating. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's the general reception. I feel like all of the girls of Ava have been waifued so hard, I don't remember what is actually canon at this point. This was really early with Gendo. I forgot about this part, but because we have Ava Unit 0 here too. The Ava units are now officially part of Londoba, which is also, again, a thing that I thought we had done a couple of times already, but I guess not. But it's official now. They've turned over the keys now that we have all the introductions done. I guess they were unofficially, or he said that they were going to. It's hard to tell when, who and what Gendo is talking to because of how that room works. Okay, we need the Super Gundam. We need what else? Ginrei, Rigazi, Jigan, Rick Diaz. The R gun is theoretically. We also don't have the R1 though. Okay. We don't have any of these either, gracious. We don't have a lot of slots. Okay, so you know what? Maybe we're gonna cut these two. But I want the separate turrets. Why do we only have 8 units? I guess we're gonna have some more of the stuff from the other route dropped in here. So we definitely want the giant robo. I want to use the main character because of the main character. I want separate strats, but maybe we do skip these. Don Cougar still lets us do that. I definitely want to bring Sho and Marvell. That seems like a must. I guess let's not worry about the R's too much then. You know what? Yeah, let's say we cut the R's for now. This isn't the first game they're showing up, and we can theoretically prioritize them in the first time the SRX shows up. At the very least, if it's not like the first OG, we can also use them in the first OG. So maybe Nia and Keen are going to take a back seat in this, which now means we've cut more than we needed to, but that's fine. We could use the Getter Dragon. I'm worried about being underwater and not having enough damage. So maybe we like switch to the Poseidon. I think that's probably the best choice we can make. Yeah, let's do that. We do also have the Alex here, which is not exactly what we want. I took up all the parts off of her because I was not planning on deploying her, but I guess she gets forced because of her asking about like side 6 and objective that's gonna show up later. Okay, so let's look at our expert points. This is did I miss it? I just went too fast again. Okay, this is the Angel Gagiel, and it's our target for this mission, largely speaking. If we need to kill it in 3 turns, and the killing blow needs to come from Asuka, which feels like that should not be that big of a deal. She has some potent attacks. And because, like, the time she shows up in the show is water-based. I don't know if this unit is supposed to be water-based or not. I don't remember. But a lot of her attacks have A in the water, so it's going to make that pretty easy. Okay. What else? Oh, right. Okay. These connection points. I don't remember how much we've talked about them before, but it is sort of like a gimmick with these units. They can either connect to a building or a battleship. Obviously, we've got no buildings here, so they're connected to a battleship. They can't move more than 10 spaces away from their connection point. So, like, let's see if we can get it to show up. I don't remember where this menu actually happens. No, okay. I guess it'll only show up if we have, like, if we hit the max. Let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we only get 9 spaces away. How relevant is Bright going to be? I do want to show this off. So let's try and make that happen. We're going to move Bright over here. And then their connection point has moved. So now... Do I have to confirm? Do I have to end the turn? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, no, it is... We're just in range here. Okay. I did not move. I should have moved backwards, I guess. We'll make this happen next turn. That's fine. Okay. But they can't move more than 10 spaces away. And I just want to, like, have the visual signifier on screen so you can see what that looks like. Additionally, we can decouple. If we do, we are going to start hemorrhaging 50 energy every turn. If we ever get down to 0, I believe the manual says they just get, like, taken off the map. I don't know if they get put in the battleship or not. I'm curious. I don't necessarily want to immediately test it. But as long as they are coupled, they will get all of their energy back at the beginning of their turn. So they basically have, like, energy restored max right now, which is pretty good. Otherwise, their AT field is just absolutely bonkers. The manual also does not describe the synchro rate, just that it fluctuates over the course of battle. I have, like, no idea how that works still. That's always something we gotta, like, figure out something. Okay. We could get you in the water here. Like, attack like this. Okay. That is an option. We should scan with somebody. Who's gonna be that somebody? Does anybody have scan? No one has scan. Never mind. Okay, we're gonna scan with our fists. Great. How... Everyone wants to be in the same position. There's, like, only one way to actually get access to him. I guess we could do, like, this. This is a C in the water, though. Yeah, right? Like, I wanted the Dunbines... I wanted the Eins here because these are going to still have A in the water, and they, like, scale really well for damage. Giant Robo is probably going to be too far away to do much of anything effectual. Yeah, but that will come later. So I guess that's like how that's how we should do like the face punch scan. I just like need to see how much we're working with here. I imagine this is going to do nothing because I figure it probably also itself has an AT field. But this, I don't know if bouncing off a barrier gives you morale still. Because we are going to need to charge up to like the big ones, and we don't have any way of like breaking barriers in this game, at least as far as I know, or as far as we've seen. Yeah, okay. There's the AT field. That's fine. Do we have one more morale? We do not. Bummer. That's fine. Okay. It's so hard. Bud, where are you? There. It's so hard pinning down where this thing is. Of all the tiles, this does not look like the tile that it is. Okay. It is large. As far as I know, large is a difference of 20% in this game, which is a pretty big deal. It does not have a lot of armor. Yeah, so almost all of its defense is coming from the AT field. Once we can crest that 4,000 damage point, we're probably going to take it down pretty quickly. It does have HP regen small, which is a little obnoxious. That's fine. So while we're here, we're looking at terrain. As far as I know, as far as I can tell, if something has an A in that terrain and it's the thing being attacked, all of the accuracy that you're applying to it gets cut in half. Which is why a lot of times when we're like, oh, I'll use the plus 30 accuracy weapon and we're not getting plus 30 to it, that's why. It does scale as you change terrain values. Like, I think C gives you 100%, and then if they have a slash, you have a 200%. It's 200% whatever your accuracy would be. But that's like a tentative right now. Yeah, it's worth 0. I figured the angels were worth 0. Then it has what? It has full HP and cloaking. That makes sense to me for like characterizing the angel. Okay, it has 181 reaction, which is middle column top stat. As far as the instruction manual goes, reaction is also involved in the in the accuracy equation, which is not something that I had factored in to my like brain before. So we do want to like compare against our reactions meaningfully. And then, yeah, as a unit, it has terrible mobility, but he is like decent, like he's got decent stats for accuracy. Oh, it's only adjacent. Okay, I see. Yeah, I get the game that it's asking us to play. Okay. Oh, this isn't that's not, but this is an A in the water, right? Because it's a bazooka. Yeah. But it's only 1,800 power, so maybe bringing the Gundam was the wrong choice. Okay, you definitely need to get involved somehow. Do we have? I don't remember what all of their spirits are together. Okay, it's just movement here. Then we need them to hit morale ASAP so we can get Savage Beast, Strong Beast, whatever their beast is. Which we can... Everyone has a Valor, which I don't really immediately want to... Yeah, okay, never mind. Everyone has a Valor, so we can burn these on everybody. Then... I guess let's not do it on whoever has the Fortune. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure we only need 130 to get there. Man, there was some game I was looking up. It was Compact. It was Compact that you needed 140 to activate stuff. And maybe this is what we need here too. Okay, hold on. I guess let's do it. Oh, it is active now. Maybe it was only 130. I was looking at their separate. That was dumb of me. Oh, because it's not something on the Donkugar. It's not something on Donkugar. It's on Shinobu. That's my bad. I feel like it was on the Donkugar before. Maybe I'm just conflating that with Majin Power. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see if that's enough to actually like do some damage. I don't think it will be yet. If I remember correctly, Savage Beast. Let me get the right level. Let me get the name of this correctly while we're watching the animation. But this is a pilot scalp, yeah. It works very similar to Majin Power. It's like a percentage damage increase, like flat at the end of equations. Aggressive Beast. Yeah, it is a 25% increase. Is that the same as Majin Power in this game? Let's see. Unit abilities and Majin Power. Yes, it is exactly the same as Majin Power. It's just, it depends, it changes where it's located. Okay. But we did not do that for that. We did what we did for this. And then we can Valor this next turn, and we'll be pretty darn close. We do need to be careful to not accidentally one-shot it, which is like, I like want to try to keep chipping it to see if we can actually get an amount of damage in somewhere in here so that we can see how much its HP is. Like, if it just has 10k, I am, like, kind of hesitant and worried to like, actually, like, fully commit to hitting it. Okay. You don't have an Excel yet. Okay, that's fine. We need morale. Yes. Yeah, okay, we're gonna use it on Benkei. Nope. Benkei. Because I don't think we're gonna need the other ones. Then, what does Daisetsu Zanoroshi take? I think it's 130? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna need to use that on Ryoma also. That's fine. Maybe we're like being super over-prepared for this, but I would rather be over-prepared and have it do nothing. I'd rather be over-prepared and then waste a little bit than have a repeat of the Dragon Source incident. And then that's not going to matter. We're just doing this setup for next turn. Let's get you over here. And then, yeah, we can bring AV Unit 00 in here. Okay. It would be really cool if these had, like, Barrier Buster. Doesn't one of the... I feel like I remember them, like, yanking their way through an AT field at one point. I love that she's got self-destruct, though. Okay, we're gonna flash. And... this is actually probably a waste. Let's just set up the flash to light camp it. Oh, right, I forgot. Shinji is also in the unit with Asuka, which he's not happy about, but I do love that it gives us 2 pilots for the time being. Okay, yeah, so we super duper can Valor with him next turn. We can, hold on, never mind. We might just Valor with her right now. Right? Like, this is our best attack. It's not going to get any better than this. We may as well. We just have 2 free Valors here. We're not free, but like he's not really doing much else. We flash because the focus doesn't matter. Okay, sure. Let's make sure that we're like actually punching through this. So this is melee. This is okay. It's basically the same either way. So it's 1.63 times. So it's it's 1.6 and 1.1 times 2,800, and then we double that afterwards. I think I want to willpower. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm going to do some math, and then I'll come back and tell you what the results are. Okay, I as far as I can tell, we are going to be breaking the barrier. But we are just breaking the barrier, so I don't want to risk it. We're going to put the Valor on, or not the Valor, the willpower on. Okay, I guess we are just breaking the barrier without the Valor. I don't know how this interacts, so I just want to be safe and not accidentally waste the Valor also, and not have it be like, well, you did 0 damage, now we'll multiply the damage you dealt times 2, so 0, right? And like, we're gonna have Asuka be the one to kill at the end anyway, so like, this can't be bad. All right, what we got? Show me the spear. Okay, great. That works perfectly. So we can just use a Valor on her next turn, and we have the kill. That was 8,600, right? Yeah, that is 16,000 minus. Oh, give me the number back. Nope, not on her. Minus 7620. We did 8380. Then if we have 7620, plus, it should be 1600. Oh, okay. It should go up to 9,220 next turn. So we probably actually will need to get an extra attack in here. I want to move the Super Gundam somewhat centrally, because I know we're getting some more map after this, which I suspect is probably going to be from, like, yeah, from this like island here. I'm pretty sure this is the same map as the Dragonsaurus. I feel pretty confident in saying that this is the same map. And if it's not like one-to-one the same map, it's like we've moved over like a tile or two in one direction, you know? You have enough movement that we can just put you on the ground to save your energy. And we're going to keep the Alex in the forest because she's not really statted to survive this. Not that Gagiel can get to her, just for like later's sake. Okay, we may as well. I don't think this will do damage. Okay, and yeah, it did go to 1920, 9,220. Small usually is a 10% increase. I feel like one game it was a 15% increase, and it threw me off every time. That might be a Neo thing. I would not be surprised if it was a Neo thing that number was just different. I guess, yeah, we also just have the AT field. We probably didn't actually need to use that flash with Ray. Though it'll stay on for the whole... Yeah, it probably doesn't need to. I'm so excited to try and build around them because of the AT field. Sick. Okay, yeah. So we'll Valor with Shinji again next turn. Right? Oh, hold on. Okay, no, we're good. Do we Valor? That's probably not actually necessary. I just don't want to risk it with literally any of the rest of these pilots now knowing how low it is. This is like super overkill, but we're gonna do it. Overkill is underrated. And then you take the EXP boost. Great. Yeah, because this also just lets everybody else still have their turns to deal with whatever else is showing up. We also if I assumed it was on the island, we should have moved Asuka from the west tile to the south tile. That's my bad. Yeah, great. I love that she has game. I feel like we're probably gonna get a lot of use out of her. All right, what do we got? I wonder. Nice, we got the sword animation. It's official. That's not bad. That's not a bad way to have her start. Extra level of sword cut. That's fine. I wonder what Shinji got out of this. All right. So we've completed our next. Oh, that's almost a Y level amount of enemies. It's such a dense amount of them. Okay, cool. We'll talk about all those in a second, but I want to finish here. Then, yeah, Shinji's level 29 now too. Okay, cool. He did not actually get anything out of that. That's a shame. Bummer. I don't know where I thought is now. Oh, right. So that was our expert point. That was our expert point number 2. We have to kill Gagiel within 3 turns, and it's turn 2, so we definitely did that. Now we need to shoot down Rambaral, who is in the Goof. The Goof is other than Bernie and the Zaku. The Goof is the worst unit here, respective to the actual universe of Gundam. I don't know how it's going to shake out because he's a leader pilot, right? Like he's a main character, but we'll see. Most of these characters have like names to them because there's so many heckin' named characters in Gundam. A lot of them are going to drop parts, but they're not going to be that big of a deal. The Zanzibar seems pretty juicy for money, though. Okay, all of the Camphors except for this one are generic. but this has Bernie's squadron leader in it. Bernie is one of the two arguable main characters of 0080, and we're gonna need. I'm gonna guess he needs to do something with Chris if we want to get him later. If not talk, punch. We'll do what we can. I really like Bernie. I would like to use him more in games. He's just like a super big training project. He starts regularly very badly. If not just he has lower stats than everybody else. If it's not that he has lower stats than everybody else, it is that he starts at level 1 where everybody else is starting like at level. I don't know if there's hit correction in this game, and I also can't see what all of the Camphor situation looks like. I guess now it's definitely going to. But the Zamels worry me as far as accuracy goes, so I want to use the focus there. And then we're just going to go to town here. I need to get Sho caught back up with Marvel. I don't want to rely too heavily on her. Like, I want to use her a lot, but I don't want her to be the only thing getting experience in terms of these, like, nippy little flyers. Right, I want to make sure we're, like, keeping Sho on rate, too, to make sure we have, like, multiple of these units to, like, do exactly this, right? Like, this works perfectly. We're going to have all of these DOMs softened for everyone else to come in next turn if they can't get to them now. Have I complained about this already in this playthrough? I'm going to do it every time. I hate so much that they make that an attack. I don't think enough units have unique context actions. Give the Dom a one-time ability. They can activate it from the menu that lets them, when they can use it on an adjacent enemy, and that adjacent enemy gets half of their dodge that turn. I hate so much that it's an attack. It's not an attack. It's described as I think it's described as a beam gun on the wiki, and it was like the biggest disservice it ever did to it. It scatters beams in a way that does not actually do damage. I will get on my Gundam soapbox. I know we don't end up talking a lot about Gundam because like so many channels do already, so I want to make sure we talk about like the rest of the series that are cool too. But oh, man. Okay, sorry. Okay, the tilt is over. Right, this is 0 because of the flash. But yeah, I guess we'll just start bringing everybody in. I can't imagine we're gonna have much more after this, so we just gotta like clean all this up. I think if anything, the problems are going to be the Zamels who are gonna like keep firing, like raining down bullets at us, and I have no idea what to expect out of the how they've statted any of the hero units. Because, like, Ramba Ral is narratively, nominatively, a really significant threat in the Zeon army. But he is also, like, super power crept by time. So, who knows what that actually is going to mean for how he got translated. I kind of recall saying that before. I kind of recall saying that when he went on this, was he on this island also? Or, no, that was on a Volgato. Yeah, I do kind of remember us having this conversation before, though. Maybe this? This seems probably fine. Because this could be lethal. It never is. I, like, super overestimate this bird. Okay, why was that not? Oh, these just, like, have, like, proper a lot of defense. Yes, this is what I mean. Like Rickdoms are not nothing, but, like, Rickdom having 1,400 defense compared to the Angel having 1,000. I understand, I still understand that its defensive profile is through its barrier more. That just, feels really weird to me that the Rickdoms have 1,400 in defense. That should not be. Actually, hold on, we should look up how much money they have. Are they just, worth a lot? Not that much. Okay, y'all are 32. You probably killed a boss before. Yeah, that's fine. Can Marvel? No. We could have Marvel come here. That probably isn't doing much, but we may as well because she doesn't have anything else to do. Oh, okay, well, that's a shame. Right, this only has one use, which is correct. And then, oh, right, the bazooka has a 3. It's close range is 3. That's why I wasn't activating it. I saw the 5 range, and then I just, forgot to check because this game is actually, unique and gives weapons different properties. that it didn't have like 1 range or 2 range. Okay. I guess we can go. We take this. Okay, can we? I feel like anything else is not going to chip them. I think anything else is going to kill. So like we could do this. I just like don't want to waste. Do they even have a cheer or a gain? They do. Every single time. I even literally left myself a note this time. I just like have my phone over top of it that I need to see if we can switch someone into the Super Gundam to give them Excel. Someone in chat remind me when we get to intermission. I'll have to remember that way. Okay. Who else is low? Oh. It's amazing to me that Daisaku was only level 25 considering what he is like capable of doing. Right. Let's do this. Odds are this will kill, but yeah. Because in the event that it does not, we had an easy target for the Super Gundam then. I guess we can have you fly now. Yeah. Look at all this movement. Okay. I'm like thinking too hard about this. This is gonna be easy. I just like need to make sure we don't accidentally kill Bernie. That's like the only thing. Okay. No, not you. You know what? We've got plenty of them. Let's just fire it, and if it's not lethal, we can just do it next turn then. That crit will surely help. Yeah, sick. Nice. And then the dragon comes in. I wonder if Hayato ever even learns the Excel in this game. It's like the only thing that they're missing, and then they're like basically perfect. Then you can attack someone. Yeah, like attack here. This like theoretically keeps Chris a little safer. And yeah, there's no reason for the Dankugar to attack anything that isn't at full HP because we have aggressive feast on. Ooh, Zamo, why are you moving? Yeah. This is attacking the Argama. That's what we wanted. That's fine. Let's see what this looks like. The Zamel and the Hidolfnir are like some of my favorite units. They like don't get a lot of attention and they just seem so weird. I love when Zeon does weird. Like a lot of the water-based units that don't get a lot of attention are also some of my favorites. Or the one that just has the Rock'em Sock'em robot boxing glove punch. I don't know what that one's called. Yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But if you, it's a Blemigan. It's like it doesn't have a head, right? It's just like it's like flat on top. Yeah. Oh right. Yeah. This is the thing we saw with the ship. Yeah. I'm pretty sure those are called Blemigans. The like creatures that are like headless, generally, or sometimes they are like missing body parts. Okay, we are just evading here because we don't want to accidentally like one-shot Bernie. We need Chris to interact with him, I'm sure. It's not like he's going to threaten us at all, you know. Ooh, was that 400 points of damage? And taking the camphor to half health? Oh, no, okay, it must have been 1400. The one just must have been covered from the, like, overlay. Yeah, like, this is what I mean, right? Like, this is very, very easy. I think I see now why people were really high on the Aura Fighters. That's fine. Hopefully this is close to lethal, then we can like pass this off to Chris. No, okay. This is all the same. Yeah, hopefully we can pass it off to Chris as we're like moving forward. Okay, so let's talk other stats. Okay, hi team, welcome back. Just going to be in different positions. So this game has crashed a couple of times. I know I could have gone back to like check exactly where I moved things. I just did not bother. It's because it's going to end up being the same. I tried to retain I retained how the Gagiel kill went, like who got what. There is a position where Shinobu could have, like, we were in this position now, I did not go for it, but Shinobu could have come over here, basically set it to an HP where Asuka could have killed it that turn. But I opted not to do that because that was like, that feels too much of a change and very much dependent on like what we've learned from, what we learned from playing already. So like, I didn't want to do that, but other people just were not in the same positions and I'm just not going to worry about it. But I'm going to, not for the purposes of like editing how we are playing, but for the purposes of making sure I don't have to record this for the 4th time. You'll probably see something like, you'll probably see like a save state flag somewhere in the corner somewhere, just to like make sure that the game cooperates, you know? This is a slightly more risky position that we're going to be in here, which is fine by me. I kind of think we're gonna get to clear a lot more from here anyway. So we're gonna go like this. Let's see what this looks like too. We've not got to see any Comper in like full view yet either. I really like the Compers. I think they're very cool looking. It definitely gets like one of the best looks as far as like introducing a mobile suit goes. So like that definitely helps. Ooh, just shy. This is like if we're not counting. Okay. I gotta say, this sprite for it is not doing it a lot of favors. They made it like way too compact, but that's okay. You know what? That was fine. That was fine. We were just setting it up for the Alex, right? Oh, okay. I guess we weren't setting it up for the Alex. You don't have... Nope. Okay. Well, never mind. Forget that. Oh, I guess the one thing I did change is I didn't use the extra morale on the the extra spirit from the Dankugar, which is, I think, gonna be okay. Then we can, let's just excel to make sure we get to someone that has full HP. And then let's punch his lights out. We're probably not going to be here. Like, we'll probably be here next turn, and that will be it. So I may as well use a fortune now, even on something that's like a little bit less significant, because we just can't do it 2 turns in a row, you know? Oh. It's... I am recording this the same week that we figured out that I just, like, can't stream for a bit. This has been such a cursed week. Hopefully I have taken upon all of your curses. And we'll see once January's over. My year will start 1 month late. That's fine. Also, that was a crazy amount of damage. I did not like fully clock that, but like that was without a Valor. That was just the combination of having like 30% extra damage from high morale and the aggressive beast. Yeah, because of like how this game's like damage formula works, Majin Power and Aggressive Beast are even better than they normally are. And they're normally rather good. Let's get you over here. That's fine. We don't need you to see combat. Then, no, you need to separate. And you can reach... Oh, we can actually cleanly reach 2 of these. That's nice. Let's do this. Perfect. And then Liger will hit the other one. And then we recombine. Yeah, there's... I could foresee getting it into an getting into the LTC for this game also. That's the one that's basically dead already. I don't relish the idea of needing to spend a lot of resources, and also like putting us here is actually probably pretty precarious. Do you have a wall, anybody? This is no. That's also a no. The focus is not nothing though. That's like a pretty. Let's toss a focus on, because I think we're like right at the point like 40/70 is like usually a good sign. Yeah, like that's actually. We're doing numbers here. Okay, I think this will be good. And if we need to block, we need to block. That's fine. Then no one's been hurt yet. So let's go here. The Comfers can still attack here. I guess this is probably our best shot then. Yeah, that's fine. And then we have... Oh, she's been hurt. Okay, well, that might be bad. We'll see. Do we have a trust somewhere? No, we do not. I mean, had we planned that, like, way better, we could have done that in, like, very much not that order. I knew that was a risky attack, but, like, I feel like we gotta commit to some risky attacks to, like, make this actually be interesting, you know? That's fine. Not like she can't also block for a while. And then I want... We're not going to make this attack. I just want her, like, 1 tile away from getting onto land rather than 2 tiles for, like, obvious movement purposes. Okay. This is... Yes, that's fine. We have 8 shots of this left, so that's okay. Then let's see what this looks like. This is Haman in the Zanzibar. Not to be confused with Haman. The second vowel is different. Oh, no, sorry, no, this was wrong. My bad. I thought I saw him go already. Oh boy, yeah, no, he definitely was given stats that he should not have. Okay. I still would have made this attack had I thought it was around morale. If we need to block, we need to block. I'm also just kind of curious what happens if they die. Like, do we lose the dragon and then the other 2 parts split off of it? Or, like, is it enough of a body shot that it hits all 3 of the jets? You know? There's a Zanzibar. You're fighting against the Argama. We will accept that gladly. Okay. It being on the... them being on the, forest is not nothing. And then you're probably going to move? Yeah. Great. Oh, right, and they have hover capabilities, too, so... Then... We'll just chip all of these down. We got to make sure we're paying attention to where Bernie is. Yeah. All right, because that was, what? I can't remember that general's name. The guy who's, like, Bernie's squadron leader. This definitely does not go to Marvel. That's a waste. And this is going to Emma. That's fine. I don't feel like we don't need to gain all of those up. This can go to Marvel. That's fine. Wait, hold on. Okay, if we block, we take nothing. But if we... Oh, okay. What? Hold on. What is this command prompt? I don't actually know what this does. Hold on. I'll have to experiment with this later. Was I just, like, accidentally using the wrong button half of these times and, like, taking way too much? Right? Is this we are allowed to counterattack first, but then we guarantee that the enemy gets a hit? So, like, the idea is that we use this if we know we kill. That might be what this is for. Hold on. I'll have to experiment with that later. I just forgot that I had a copy of, like, I have, like, a hard copy of Alpha, and I just, like, have the manual. Like, I should just look at the manual. That is part of how I figured out that React is a thing that gets added to the, like, accuracy formulas. Because, like, it just says so. It's really fascinating which things they break down to, like, a really specific detail. Like, they tell you every tile in the game that has HP and energy regen. But then they say this, like, then they'll say the synchronization rate of the... That's what crashed it before, is these units showing up. Okay, cool. Let me see if we have some text about them. And I'm also going to save state right now to make sure we don't lose this again. Nope, cool. There's going to be some text here. We just don't get told what this is for. That's fine. Presumably everyone is, like, saying their personality traits. That's an awful lot of Gundam sitting there, though. Okay, cool. Yeah, so, like, some stats, some things it'll be like the synchronization rate of the Ava units increases their damage and defense and will fluctuate across battle. Or something like potential will increase the pilot's stats as they've taken damage, right? Like, that doesn't tell me anything. but then it'll like itemize every tile in the game that heals your HP and energy and tell you what all of them are named, what all of them could like, all the different options of what they could be named and how much they heal. Like, that's not, why would you do that? Why does that matter? It's so funny. I don't know if we had the full mobility one, but I do love this unit. I think just like extra mobility is like pretty good. Yeah, I don't remember what all of the Gundams we had. We definitely saw this Zeta before because I thought this sprite was very funny. This is like, it's a little squished. The double Zeta is definitely new though. Ooh, he tall. Look, it feels like someone like grabbed his feet and grabbed his horn pivot points and just like yanked them up a little bit. Goody has a beam coding. He could also separate. Okay, so like clearly we're not going to use him. I'm gonna separate him out to see if we just get like 4 separate small little jets or however many it turns into. And this is the Reinforced Junior. Yeah, okay, cool. We get so much stuff in this game. Okay, this is a scan, what is this called? I never use this. Guts, I think that's what I'm calling Guts, and then a bullseye. Then this is the F91. Sick. It's got after image. Good. I would assume so. Then you got low new type. You got high sword cut. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like the defensive skills are being differentiated a bit more. Like too often in the earlier iterations of like this gen of games, it was just like everyone had one of them that was one better, and it was the difference of like 1 level. Where at least here it seems like some pilots have like really high values. Like when we saw Ketra and Troa earlier, they had like really, really high sword cut and shield defense values because the rest of their defensive profile was a little bit lower. Like we can't like actively do anything with that, but I like that there's some difference. Yeah, okay, just another good big bulk of stats. Oh, I never actually moved it. It has 7 move. Yeah, it has the same move as the GPO one, which makes sense to me, right? Like I think of the F91 as being like a really, really mobile unit. Same with the V2. Like the V2, for instance, they also like go into great detail about all of the ways you can like transform it when you get like if you put it in the battleship. So like I want to try that now rather than like yanking the pieces apart. Can we probably can't do it this turn. We'll try to use it next turn. But like there's nowhere where we need these, so let's just experiment with them. Yeah, so let's take the double Zeta apart. Darn, okay. I'm pretty sure the double Zeta has 3 different jets. I was like kind of hoping we were going to get those. I don't know how they would do it. I guess they could just like give them like AI pilots, but that's fine. All right, cool. Love that Judo has Fortune on him. We might put Judo in the Super Gundam. That seems pretty relevant. Okay. I guess let's get these. Let's get some people over here. See, like we can. Do you have? No, you don't have an Excel yet. You also don't have an Excel. I feel like that to me just feels so standard for Gundam units. Was I just like super spoiled by how art did things? We're just gonna burn. Let's just do everything and see what you can do to that Zamel. That Zamel. Does this have B? Oh, right, it has an A in space. It has an A in space. That makes sense, right? Like it's supposed to be designed to be a space. It's supposed to be designed to be a space unit. That's fine. You don't have an Excel? No, you do not. It's fine. Then, nope, you also don't. Yeah, like I did not give units credit for Excel in R, which like I shouldn't because we do in this, right? Like that's not how that works. But I definitely feel like I took Excel for granted more. Where like here they would definitely get some credit for having Excel. But I also from initial play, it feels like we can push this game a lot harder. You know. We haven't seen this in action yet, and we can see this Zamel again. So now that we are finished with that little interlude, yes, we were talking about accuracy, I think before the game crashed. So as far as I can tell, when you are checking defense, or sorry, when you are checking accuracy, the most important part of that right now seems to be the defending unit's terrain benefits, like terrain modifier, because if they have an A in the terrain that they are in, they cut, it seems like, all of the equation in half, which is like, that's a pretty big deal. Like that's pretty significant, right? So that seems like the highest priority. Like I said, that does get applied to the accuracy bonuses from like using a weapon, right? So like we could go here, we could go 30. We have 70 accuracy. This is not going to be 75. This should be like 72 or 73. Oh, right. Because also how you get accuracy is not based necessarily on proximity, but it is based on how close you are to the enemy relative to how far the accuracy of the weapon has. So like, because this is max 3, we are not getting any accuracy bonuses from attacking where our position is. But because this is max range 5, we are getting 2 steps worth of accuracy bonus. What those steps are yet, I don't know. But it's not a flat amount. It's definitely a percentile amount. But both damage and accuracy are increased the closer in proximity you are to your target relative to the entire range of the attack. So you do also want all of your attacks to be like 1 to 10 range, because that will increase a lot for you. That worked out perfectly, timing wise. We have used this already. We will use it against them. Then you take this. Now let's see what the Alex looks like. I don't know if we've actually shot anything with it this time. But I've tested very lightly in terms of level ups. What stats affect it. So like the book says reaction does. But because everyone has like relatively pooled amounts of reaction, because you need, I think, is it 200? Is it 250? There's an amount of reaction, and once you get to it, you get to take 2 turns. So like we need everyone to have roughly the same amount, otherwise things get imbalanced very quickly. This was a great level up too. I guess like let's look at someone that we know is gonna have high. He's got 191. If he needs only 9 more levels to get 2 turns, that would be wild. Whereas someone like Daisaku is going to be lower. But that's all I thought it did before. But theoretically, it impacts it. But oh yeah, so all levels do not have the same amount of do not give the same amount of stat points like across all stats. So like I was trying this with Koji. When he leveled up, he got 2 points of accuracy in 1 level. So like clearly there's an uneven distribution of how stats are working, which is good. Like I like when they have that better, more than just like 1 to everything. I forgot, we also get to split these up because this unit is bunkers. That said though, I thought aggressive beast was only going to be on Shinobu. I was going to say, like, that said, only Shinobu has aggressive beast, but nope, all of them have it. Oh my word. Okay. Also, I definitely did this badly because we don't have the Alex attack Bernie. Maybe Bernie's just going to be like the very last thing that we do. Okay. Do you have? Oh, we have something here, right? Like we could do that. Seems fine. Okay, we're gonna pause that thought to like figure out. I still don't remember how these work. I looked at it and I still don't remember how these work. I tried so hard. So that's 110 in human form. In animal form, it's 115, and in NASCAR form, it's also 110. right? Human and NASCAR are both 110. Yeah, okay. So what are we actually switching between those two? This is Baba. This is also Baba. Is it size? No. 1200, 1700, 1800. Thrill as I like figure out what my stats do. Okay, so it looks like we're just adding an attack in human form. So we do want to be an animal form then, I think. This will still have us combined from here, so like this is still good. But this does increase our mobility by 5 points, so like we may as well. Which when factored into the equation is because generally we're attacking enemies that have an A on terrain, and they're gonna cut it in half. Generally speaking, I think you can assess mobility and reaction and either your accuracy or your evade, depending on which one is relevant, as giving half of whatever that number it says it is. That is what I've come to so far. Oh, right. So when I was leveling up with Koji, I got 1 point of reaction and 2 points of accuracy in one level, but it only increased my accuracy by 2 points. So if it gets divided in if we add both of those, 3, like I said, divided in half, goes down to 1.5. It seems like, and this is the most like guess of guesses right now. I think we're gonna just use these to like snipe something that can't counterattack us. Yeah, like that, for instance. This is the most guess of guesses right now, but it seems like if you have multiple halves, those are gonna get added to a whole before we round down. We'll like we'll sum everything together and then we'll round down the very. Yeah, like that's absolutely stupid to be able to put that on the Big Moth. I'm not. Are you retreating? That was so sad. Okay. Well, so much for Birdie. We hit him on once and then we're just out. Oh, we also lose the expert point then too, because we didn't get to kill Rambarao. Okay. Well, glad we know that trigger now. What an absolutely nothing of an end to that scenario. That's so funny. After so much effort to get us back to that point, to just be like, no, peace, we're out of here, team. Okay. Before I clear through these too fast, I should go read what the rest of the story is. There's not much left. Okay, well, it seems like we're going to keep using these like referential points for the story for the route split, so I guess we're going to have to read into this so I don't just say like when there's nothing to say. Okay, so let's see if I got all my notes straight. Ingram is surprised that we have all 3 Ava units and caught the fact that, I think we did this the last time too, but he says again that the Angels aren't actually going after the Ava units, that it seems more like the Ava units are there to distract the Angels from something else. We don't know what that is. Then okay, yeah, so there's part in here that we're skipping over because the part I was told to read happens if we don't go to Byston Wells. Like, that doesn't matter here. Then we are going to... Oh, we're going right to the battleship handoff. Okay. So, yeah. The Reinforced Junior is now going to replace the Argama. We're not going to get to keep both of these battleships, which is fine. These two guys are heading off to... where was it? Not Karaba. They're going back to an Asian base, I think it was. Where in my notes do I have this written down? There's not many of them. What a fun song. Yeah, to Hong Kong. They're going back to Hong Kong. Then it seems like we're keeping, largely speaking, everybody else, though. It's just those two. But my translation does not make that particularly clear. Next, we have Cham, who is sort of rounding up the entire squad of people we have, and we're noticing that just so many of them are kids. And we start playing with the idea that maybe we should just like hold school here for everybody. And obviously the kids don't like that, Judo most of all. Asuka, because she's pretentious. She's like, well, I went to college when I was 14, so I could be the teacher. Can you tell I don't like her very much? Misato and Kaji meet. Kaji is here to keep tabs on Ingram on behalf of, not Genta, on Gendo, on behalf of Gendo. And these two are like at an amount of conflict that is relative to how the show opens them up. And we do their like little introductory spiels. If you've not watched this show, if you've watched anime before, you know how it goes. But if you have, then yeah. But in the middle of this, we are also going to get warned that something is happening on the bridge. So this is like, that's a lot of introduction. I feel like I was promised there was gonna be a little bit less than that, but that's fine. Then yeah, so Nee comes down to let us know that something is wrong on the bridge, but we don't know what yet. There was another section in here that my translation suggested we were going to be referencing now, but I guess we referenced it later. Remember a couple of episodes ago, we had that conversation with Ingram about our psychic powers? Somewhere in there, I think, is probably where we were also getting told that the R units, the SRX project, were like halfway between getting a level up. Ryusei needs one in the form of his training. He already has a better internal structure that is more like a Gundam's Go figure than the rest of the squads. So he benefits more from training. Whereas the R2 and the R3 could stand to use some upgrades. They're only using not fusion engines. That's what the R1 has. They are using tronium engines. And right now, the R3 is the one that is in the shop for like the most upgrades. And once they figured out its T-Link, something's gonna happen. And that's the part I wanted to like mention to this, right? Like, I'm assuming that's them combining. So I think the SRX is on the horizon. Okay, now that we are here, we should actually, we want to look at pilots. We don't want to switch them yet. This is like in such a way that I don't want it to be. I like want to look at all of the Gundam pilots to see what their spirits are, to find one that has Excel. No. There's got to be a better way to do this. No. Can we do it from this menu? I mean, it's going to be slightly faster, right? But we can't actually see what their spirits are here. Yeah, that's not helpful. Okay, so I think our first one is Rue, though. Yeah, that was going to take a while to get there. Okay. You have a fortune. We could put Rue and Judo in the Super Gundam and just like have like a Super Fortune Gundam. That seems not a bad idea. I think the best way for me to do this is just to like cut between when I find all the pilots. Not an Excel here. So I'll jump to the next one in a second. Emma is already the one who is in it. And having the Valor is probably decent, but I don't know how necessary it is. Judo also has a fortune. I think I'm really gunning for Judo and Rue, because Judo's probably also going to get a Valor at some point too, right? We don't get the extra XP, but if we could get someone that had both a gain and an Excel, that would be killer. C-Book does not have anything we're looking for immediately. Oh, I moved past Kara, but Kara also has nothing we're looking for. Slager. Slager's face is so funny here. Also not what we're looking for. Chris is not bad. Surely Ko gets Excel. South Burning, not really what we're looking for. Rekua is already in it. Yeah. No. She's in the core booster. And Amuro and Char also are like roughly the same and not really here. Bicha also no. Uso also no. Actually, I don't know if Uso can go in it. Hold on. Let's find out. Okay, I figured he could, but I should not take that for granted. I would really like, I don't know if I ask for this the opposite direction every time, but I would really like for this game to let me reference the unit I would like to select from and then all of the pilots, but also have it both ways. Like, let me select the pilot and all the things it can equip, and then also select the unit and all the things it can equip. Right, just like, be able to reference both would just be, is just probably the ideal. I wonder what we could put Haro in. I'll check that in a second, too. I feel like it's probably going to be the same spot where we can equip the fairies. Surely we can't move Bright. He does have an Excel. Mancha... Okay. Then all of these piles were just handed to us, but Mondo, L, and Eno, none of them have immediately what we're looking for. No to... Is his name Kiss? Kisu. Jack Kiss? He must be from 0083. I don't remember. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, right? Like, while Thaw has a fortune, I'd rather have Rue in there for the extra new type. So let me pop away for a second and see if I can just look at... Do I want to look at who has an Excel? Nah, I don't think so. I think that seems lame. That's for future playthroughs. Okay. We're going to move these now, though. So let's get Judo into the super... Okay, you need to go in the Gundam Mark II. This is just worse? Why is this just worse? Oh, because Emma is already... Emma is better? No. Okay. This is showing us that we are moving to a unit that has less, not react, less limit, and it has 10 less mobility to start. That's what it is. It's not, we're not losing stat points on our pilot. We're losing stat points on the unit. That's fine. We know that. Then Rue is going into the G Defensor. Right, because this is also... These are also just, like, wildly inaccurate stats because we're not necessarily pulling them just separately. We're pulling them together. Okay, that is definitely an improvement. Next, let's check what parts we have. We did not get many, considering how we ended that. We do have Minovsky Craft, which, after looking it up, is the, like, usual A in error. I don't actually know who cares about that because, like, again... Parts that let you get A somewhere usually feel more gimmicks. I don't know like enough stuff I don't know off the cuff enough units that we can like force into there that would change anything. I think probably their best use in this game especially is to make sure that the weapons that you have gain access to A in the air rather than for like any of the defensive properties. So I think that's just going to sit off of anybody. Maybe that's something I can figure out later. Not that. No, okay, this is only fairy equipping. Okay, can we change? Do we just change Haro from in here? Or is Haro... I'm so curious how Haro works. Is he always with Uso? Okay, it looks like we can't change Haro around. So, where is Uso? Let's get him... He's in the V2 Gundam. Bicha, I would like you to be in the V2 Gundam. How does this work? So, Uso is for sure out of a job. But so is Haro, okay? And then, what if we put Uso into the Double Zeta? Does that take Haro with? For someone who knows this game really well, this might feel insufferable. And, like, I could just assume this is going to work this way because it usually works this way. Like, typically he gets attached to Uso. Yeah, like he is here. But, like, you just gotta make sure, you know, right? Okay. That seems fine. We're not really using the Gundams otherwise. We're just really using it for the Super Gundam because it has two parts. Or has two different, like, you know, units to it. So I guess that's A-okay. Did all of our stats, roughly speaking, look the way we wanted them to? I would say, generally speaking, yes. So I think our next order of business is getting the Don Cougar more defense. Like, we could just do that, and that gets it pretty darn close to that same defensive threshold that I talked about. Like, this... Because we already want them to get aggressive beast, it's more likely than not that they're going to have the highest or higher morale than anybody else on the team. So like this is probably a good investment. And then let's give them some more energy. That seems fine. Yeah, perfect. Okay, great. That should be a-okay. Then let's save that. I need to make sure I don't save over this. I need to not save over this slot. That's what we're going to use for testing. No, that last mission was not good for testing. I should have saved before this to make sure we had the funds to put places. But that's fine. That's a problem for me and not for you. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm sure you will not notice them because I will cut things in a way that makes it convenient for you, but I appreciate you sticking here with me for it. And I guess just like broadly on the channel right now. I don't love this is how we're opening up the year, but I'm really hoping that like plans are in place to like fully knock out these problems for forever in the future. But if despite those you still like being here, I'm really glad for it. The team is growing still, and I like need to start treating this a little bit more seriously if I haven't been already. I'm really glad you're all here. I'm just sorry I can't celebrate with you live. But if you do want to stick around, I think the schedule is going to remain the same, just not with streaming. So I'm going to say it broadly because I don't know what the status of my internet's going to be. On Sundays and Thursdays, we play W, and that is right now, no, not even saying a time is helpful. Yeah, so we're playing W. We're getting pretty close to what I believe everyone's been calling season 2, so I think we're like at a big climactic point. But it also, I'm kind of getting the sense it's going to be a bit of a reset, so this also might be a good time to jump in and you don't have to like catch up with the VODs, you know? On Wednesdays and, so this is going to be coming out on Wednesday, if my math is correct. Then this upcoming Friday is going to be a makeup for Fantasy Maiden Wars. And then the following Friday would be another alpha video because we'll be off when Fantasy Maiden Wars. Then for Fantasy Maiden Wars, we are kind of I think we're getting somewhat close to the end. We've like stormed the base of the enemies, I think, and I can't imagine we're going to do much more than that. So seems like things are coming to maybe a close-ish. I don't know enough about it, but I think we're getting to some more of the like we're getting to some more intense map design at the very least. So if you want a lot of crunch, stick around for that. But if you want to like feel like you're jumping into something fresh, it might take a couple more episodes before we're getting to a place of sort of more of a, like a clean reset, like a soft reset. I think that game has 3 games in it, if I remember correctly. And then bonus thing I should start mentioning is every week we participate in a like pseudo book club that I would like to make a little bit less pseudo and just more official. Barring any other place to put things right now, I am going to post my notes from my interpretations of the episodes over on Patreon. So because of the weird tech issues, this week is still going to be the call from last week, which was episodes 19 to 24. Let's make sure I count this right. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yes. Of Tekkaman Blade. If you are worried about jumping in halfway through and you like want to stay caught up, I would not be too stressed out about it. Maybe go back and watch episode like 14 and 15, and then you could stay like caught up with us. I'm gonna be real, not a lot has happened so far. We're like now getting into the point where plot has shown up. But be warned, if you have any photosensitivity or if nudity is a thing by which you are concerned with, it's okay if you set this one out. We're definitely going to be doing more something like this in the future. So you're not going to be left out forever. I don't want you to be excluded, but I understand if sometimes some content is not for you. But if you do watch or you have watched it in the past and you want to share your thoughts, go over to my Patreon. Check out a post I'm going to make. A post should be up about it by the time you are watching this. It's not going to be behind a paywall. I'm going to paywall nothing. Like I think that's absurd. And I'm going to have some like disorganized notes about my time with each episode. So I would love to hear any of your thoughts. I might put a few questions in there just to like see what everyone's thinking about a particular point. I'm still not like fully sold on the format of it, but at least feels a little bit better than maybe not getting to talk about all the little nitty-gritty bits when we're on stream. And this way I get to like hear all of your responses a little bit more, especially if you can't catch it live. So that's what things are looking like for now for me. Hopefully I will see you all live soon. But if not, I'm glad that I can still see you in the VODs. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your evening, make meaning out of the rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.